there we go. October 3rd, 2013.
The place. The time. It's not Babylon 5.
No, it's just some random places across the United States, I guess.
So is this our podcast?
Nah,
Damn it!
I don't know how to do those kind of things.
It's pretty much the same way that we do our usual commentaries, basically.
Oh, well, I wish I knew how to actually do some. Podcasts, I mean.
Well, I was hoping to do one with Nathan, but Nathan got a job and he's never around. Damn it!
So that would explain why you're more available most of the time.
Huh?
I was wondering why that was going on.
No, that was just because I left it on when I went to work and my brother turned it off.
No, I was talking about do you usually on nights, some nights you be watching anime with them.
Yeah, but I haven't been able to watch anime with him for like a month or two.
I see. I see.
Last anime we were watching was Fate Zero.
Mm. Anyway, yeah, 2 years ago, when we both had to do pretty much a fresh slate.
The start of everything, and well,
Well,
almost the end of everything.
and and to be honest, the timing for it couldn't have been worse.
Yeah,
Because of what happened to me a month later.
I think around that time, I also recall my computer also fucking dying around that time. I forget. Or
Mm-hmm.
was that a year before that? I forget.
By the way, folks, if you don't have no idea who we are, why the hell are you on this channel?
Yeah, like, who
Yeah.
are you?
Who are you?
Although on that note, we do need to make a trailer for this channel.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what I think I know what trailer to make. I'm just not sure how to make it or what to include.
Basically, what I would suggest is basically a clip of gameplay from all of the members. Getting something from Zero will be hard, though.
Yeah.
Wait, he's still alive, right? Oh, wait, he was on like a few minutes ago, and then he jumped off the minute that we were about to start.
Actually, no. He's still on.
He's
Really?
got his own problems right now.
Yeah. It's
Again?
well. Do you really expect
Legit problems.
exactly?
Oh,
Besides, do you really expect anything to go our way nowadays?
now that you say it like that, I don't think so.
Nah, considering considering what has happened in the past 2 years. Oh yeah, my mother died. We kind of got in maybe a couple of fights. Most of which, fortunately, you guys never got to see. And
Most of the time, we tried to stay away from talking about those things, other than like the separation of pretty much what started into organized chaos and so on.
yeah,
Yeah, group splintering.
I'm not bitter about that. Never was.
I kind of am, but I'm mostly over it, mostly because, they still talk to me, so I don't care.
You're in both
Same.
groups anyway, aren't you?
Huh? I never actually asked to be a member. They just pretty much signed me up. They just put my name down.
Well, it's not unheard of. Non-consensual sign-ups.
They didn't even tell me. I had to go look on the channel. I'm like, wait, what? When was I obligated to do this?
Hmm.
I mean, I'm not angry about it. I was just like, okay.
But overall, I think in the course of the past 2 years, I say all of us have practically changed from how we originally have done things.
Well,
Well, then again, the game is changing, as it were,
the
constantly,
game's afoot.
and it's constantly changing. Everyone's standards have pretty much gone higher than usual. And
Well,
but
they've also gone lower too.
yeah, I was about to say most of them have gone lower, as if they'll be happy to see anything, whether it's actually high quality stuff or if it's just your typical Retro Prey worthy material.
Yeah, true, true. But the days of the old YouTube are long since gone. Once we had a site that actually worked, even though the highest quality video was 320p. And we could only go up to 10 minutes.
Actually, 360.
And back in the day, the only noteworthy LPers back then were Proton John, Deceased Crab, Cloud 8745, and Ultra J Man.
Then
And
we had Nintendo Capri Sun and HC Bailey come in a little bit later.
That too.
yeah, and
But
then at that point it just kind of stagnated. And
yeah.
now we got a bunch of people following the PewDiePie example as well as the um,
Uh, don't get me started.
Or me. I don't even want to
no
hear
the
about them.
I know that anytime like Adam gets started on a popular LP or like doing a game that he's already doing, I already know. I'm like, dude, it can't be helped. If the guy likes the game, he's going to do it.
True.
If the guy sucks at the game, he's probably going to do it. Hell,
Hmm.
I know. I played X7. You've seen that LP, right? It was
Oh,
fat.
I did. Yeah, fabulous in the fact that your sanity was slowly eroding.
Well,
What little there was left.
well, considering I was trying for no death run. I
Hmm.
don't know
And
why I put myself up to that.
I know your pain because quite recently I just finished a more thorough playthrough of P3, which I'm actually satisfied with, considering I don't think I've ever actually done as much of a thorough job as I've done with that game ever. I actually took the time and actually got all but one of the requests done.
Gee, the one request,
Yep.
fight the ultimate opponent, right?
Which I actually am working towards on New Game Plus as we speak. I'm
Hmm.
actually going to go for it.
He's gonna fight Lizzie.
Yep. And whether or not I'll succeed, who knows?
I just imagine that you'll lose what little hair that you have left. And
Well, actually, I have a full head. I have a whole head of hair. Thank you very much. I
uh,
can't say the same for you.
I admit I've actually lost quite a bit of hair, but that's mostly considered what I have to work with in more ways than one.
Hmm. And of course, a lot of you noticed how more or less how I've changed how I run things lately.
Nah, you're too much of a perfectionist. What do you
I,
want, Corey?
I agree. I have been. Well, what can you blame me? Since I'm probably going to be reaching out to a broader audience, I need to. They're not going to see me flail my way through a run.
You've got
Well,
to
it's
react.
that's it's not that we want to just see it just go just get it done over with. No, I personally just want mostly for me it's mostly I just yeah.
I know you're.
I don't like being treated like an idiot,
I
especially when I know the material.
dude. You need to realize I don't correct you just to be to be a jerk. I don't do that at all. It may
Yeah.
sound like it, but in reality, it was never my intention.
Well, the other I think the other thing is I just find that you're kind of chaining yourself down to this whole partner network thing.
Well,
And that's my worry is that you're putting more stress on yourself than you actually need to.
then again, I'm not currently working at the moment, so that's actually a lot off my shoulders.
Oh, you lucky.
Well, then again, I'm on medical leave.
I want to be on Sandy leave.
Sorry, I don't think the government, in its current condition, can actually afford to do that.
Well, they can afford hiring people that I say have like, uh, how should I say, female genitalia instead of male genitalia, and the one that should have a brain has the male genitalia
Uh,
in the brain.
uh,
Does that tell you anything about who I work with? Let me put it like this: one of my
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I know what
is
you.
a bigger wimp than Shinji Ikari. I'm sorry.
No. I agree with you.
I, I'm sorry. I'm halfway tempted buying the cranberry juice and tampons, and then telling him when is he going to stop menstruating?
Uh, anyway,
And he's trying to get himself fired, mind you. And then he keeps asking me if I do drugs.
that's just messed up.
Why? Because I've been at that job for 4 years?
Hmm.
No, I got to pay the bills. Sorry. I'm sorry that's so offensive. I mean, I do have a degree,
It's just that your degree feels wasted.
more or less.
Hmm. See, people, this is a rarity. How you see us, more or less, when we're not doing a playthrough, we actually are witnessing us as we are
In our natural habitat.
in the real world, so to speak.
Oh God. Oh God, that reminds me of watching Carnival Phantasm.
Uh,
The lion, the saber lion cub.
uh,
In her natural habitat. A king is always hungry.
er,
Let's feed it. Let's go feed it fucking Lancer.
I think you're definitely going crazy, man.
Well, to be fair, I've been watching a new anime or the Attack on Titan, which is
But
getting ridiculously overrated.
that and the fact that there's a 3DS game we're not getting in America.
Well, we didn't get the Digimon Adventure PSP game, so
Oh well. But about Digimon, Bo's gonna be happy when he hears about Digimon Fusion.
I suppose if he can actually be able to watch on Nicktoons, considering that you have to pay for that.
Ay.
But let's just say, like, I showed Adam a clip from Cross Wars 2, essentially, even though, according
Uh,
to
uh,
one of the coworkers, he said that was the only good part of that.
I don't think we want to spoil anymore.
Well, let's just say take all five
Um,
series or 6 series team members, the main leaders, basically the Red Rangers, and have them join forces. And it is awesome.
okay, I could definitely imagine you frothing at the mouth or drooling.
If you thought that was the case, you should see me watching was it the Future Diary opening one opening. Redundancy. Redundancy is next to God.
Someone called the Department of Redundancy Department. Did I actually get it right this time?
Jim.
I'm not sure if I was paying attention.
Jim.
What?
Oh, there.
I was asking if I had gotten that reference right or whatever.
What reference?
The Department of Redundancy Department.
Oh yeah, you did.
Good. That was plaguing me for the longest time in Persona 4, actually. It was, I'll be honest. But, yeah. Um, what actually is going to be happening in the coming days, actually, for us, I wonder? Um,
Well, I know in a month I'll be starting Kingdom Hearts Final Mix.
oh, yeah. About that, thank goodness they finally gave it to us. And yet, still don't really say Odd 10 and 10 2 International.
Nope.
Something which Bohemians is still pissed at.
But they still have the release date of every let's see, DLC of Final Fantasy 14 and every extra costume that they're adding to Lightning Returns.
I like.
Yes, Lightning and Aerith costume. It fucking is not troll bait whatsoever. We don't want to be hated whatsoever.
Wait, what?
You heard him.
No, I didn't. He got very high pitched and ranty.
Oh,
I went nostalgic right there. You see what I did there? Yeah, Lightning actually now has an Aerith costume.
Yeah, I've seen.
uh,
And now also has a Final Fantasy 14 costume based on the cat girl in that game.
ah,
Also wear in the DLC that they add to the game.
why?
Though on the other hand, you if you're a female character, you can actually get her outfit as well as her equipment. Though if you're a male character, you actually get Snow's outfit
Hmm.
and equipment more or less. Also the fact that more of the monsters from 13 or their designs are in it because you can actually fight the Bahamut from that game.
That's actually an interesting collaboration, actually.
Honestly, I think they did it with a gun to their head. And
Hmm,
again, I think that's the general process of thought for Square Enix.
probably so.
Oh,
I hope to God that if Lightyear returns bombs, Toriyama will be fired.
well, honestly, the gameplay does look interesting.
Hmm.
Even
Yes, we
even though
already know from
even though I call it
13-2 and Metroid Other M that decent gameplay does not a good game make alone.
yes, but here's the thing: Other M barely had any gameplay.
Oh, come on. It actually had.
It was on autoplay for the most part.
That was probably just from your perspective. To me, it was actually a working game.
Well, work.
At least it was play
Well,
tested well.
back to the actual point. If we had a point, I'm not sure we did.
What's
Setting
a
it. What's a the where'd I go? What's the point?
what's a Titan? God damn it!
But in any case, you do. I do have to agree. The fact is, I think is it just me or nowadays people just going for like bare bones gameplay and nothing else except relying on flashy designs and stuff to sell a game.
It's because no
Uh,
one's willing to take risks anymore.
That I can agree with.
That was KJ Inafune's statement on the Japanese gaming industry. Microsoft and all the Western developers well, not Microsoft, but most of the Western developers will occasionally take risks, and sometimes they flop, but sometimes they do terrifyingly well. The Japanese market is stagnating.
Mm-hmm.
though then again,
Nintendo is
the
the
same
only
can be
company
also
that's got
said
any
for
sort of headway
the.
here.
I'm sorry, you guys got overlapping, so it's hard to tell who's talking.
All right, I'll let GM go.
Nintendo is like one of the only Japanese companies that has got any sort of headway, and only because they're basically just a constant stream of stuff.
Hmm.
Except for except for the fact that some of that stuff has become relatively well stale. To be fair, I admit that's what happened when I played Super Mario 3D Land.
Hmm.
It was boring. It kept referencing SMB3 over and over. I'm just like, do you have a personality your own game? I
Hmm.
mean, the gameplay was good, yeah, but it just
But
didn't feel right.
and what's worse, if it ever gets to a point where you actually do like the game, but you start to get bored of it, that's not a good sign.
No, no, it ain't. Because I hate to quote someone here, but a bad game is better than a boring game.
Hmm.
Because a bad game gives you actual stuff to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
It's when it comes to a boring game, you're just like boring,
Yeah,
stale.
definitely. Spoonie can equate to that since he's the one who actually said that.
Yeah, that was his main complaint about XCOM the Bureau.
Mm. Actually, you're not the only one. I think a lot of people were very bored with that.
Well, here's the thing though. Western and Eastern developers almost have fallen into that stagnant state of, as it were, in a way,
Mm.
of just. And the problem is now, like certain Japanese developers are getting, very, how shall I say, trigger shy about saying certain properties over here now.
Mm.
Like, for example, we were supposed to get, I believe in Japan that, like with Sega, they were supposed to have a new entry in Yakuza, but then they never brought it here.
Mm.
And then there's like stuff like Digimon Adventure, which, though to be fair, Digimon's almost kind of remote here.
Mm-hmm.
They almost like Namco didn't even almost they almost didn't want to bring Nino Kune over here.
Or Tales of Exilia.
Yeah, there was some serious petitions on that factor.
Namco screws itself over a lot.
Mm.
Then
And
there's
they do it to screw with their fans, and then they wonder why their fans hate them and boycott them.
Then then there
that could be said of many other developers as well.
well,
They tend to be ignorant.
yeah, Capcom specifically.
Well, true, but I think
That's a whole other can of worms, Moby.
besides, I think they're starting to get the message.
I think the massive showing of Mighty Number Nine's Kickstarter was a wake-up call. 4 million in pledges.
I could agree with that. Um, I mean,
The third best funded game on Kickstarter of all time.
Not going to deny you there, and I'm going to have fun playing on my Vita.
same here. Now I'll actually have an excuse for playing my Vita again.
Yeah, and
All
Mighty
right,
Number Nine
all
got all the stretch goals, all the things.
But all we need now is when it'll be available.
They say 2014.
Oh, it's something to look forward to. But no, I'd say even though my faith in Capcom has shaken, I'm still not willing to give up on them. Not yet.
Well, let's see. I noticed a frequent thing with Capcom.
Hmm.
It's always like when it comes to their second or third title, it's usually that title that really makes them or somewhat breaks them, but then they make a comeback later.
Hmm.
Like, you know how Mega Man 2 was, and then Mega Man 3, and then after that, it kind of stagnated.
Mm.
Then, kind of the same thing happened with like X2 to X3,
Hmm.
where X3 kind of stagnated the formula for me, as it were. I know a lot of people like X3. I get it. Okay, it's a good game. Just I don't like it.
And it's true, folks. Come on, everyone can have their own differences of opinion.
and and then you also come to like the Resident Evil series with the second game being pretty much for most people the pinnacle outside of the modern ones like 4 and 5.
I'd rather not talk about the modern ones, thank you. To be honest,
Revelations is awesome.
that being the exception, that actually, I think it was more of a classic game than a modern game.
Yeah, though 4 is still good.
Eh, I'm just saying that I will agree that it has stagnated to a point, but I I just don't know. I'm not willing to just give up on them just yet.
Though then honestly I would like to see a new Dino Crisis game.
Not one not set in space, mind you.
Not one with jetpacks and in such a far off timeline that the other two games don't matter.
Mm. And actually, after realizing the whole thing, I think it is kind of justifies why we didn't get Gakken Kenji 2.
Mm.
Because obviously the development team is not working on that anymore. Or
Uh,
I think that was the case.
well, the fact that they were also jumping from project to project didn't really help either.
Hmm. But at least on the plus side, we got a compromise,
Yeah, we got Phoenix Wright 5.
and the crossover game too.
Speaking of which, I haven't heard shit about that.
Well, well, they're probably being secretive. All we know is
It's
that
mostly been moving on to Steam for the most part. Terraria just updated. I've gotten into a couple other voxel-based games: Cube World, Sky Nations,
mm,
StarMade, and then there was this really creepy, awesome game that just came into alpha and was greenlit called Damned. Have either of you heard of it yet?
I saw maybe a couple thumbnails of a video of it or two of it.
Yeah, yeah. I piddled around with it with a couple of buddies from the Waffles Club. Really good fun.
Hmm. But yeah, actually, so I guess more or less is what's been going on in the 2 years that have passed.
Um, let
Well,
me think.
unless you got other things to say.
Well, I don't know. It's just I feel like that there's such a divide between the developers and their consumers, and I know that some of them have fan bases that are just plain outright insane. I point to you, Sonic.
Because apparently no one can agree on actually, what actually makes a good Sonic game. Because remember what happened with the whole thing from Adventure to Adventure 2 to Heroes to Shadow to '06. Yeah, because no one. Because remember what I said. I look just like I told you before. No matter what happens, some fan bases will never be satisfied.
Yeah, yeah. Though it's kind of funny that I actually consider Activision the American Capcom, more or less.
Except
They are.
yeah,
They were the most hated company of 2012.
and yet they're still going
Hey, they make big money.
by releasing the same game over and over.
Hey, it worked for EA for the last 30 fucking years.
I know, but even so, people have got to realize that enough is enough.
Honestly, I
Problem
just wish
is,
that.
EA and Activision will always have that dependable cash flow from FPS tards who want to murder people, who want to play their little murder simulators that make all the moral guardians wet their jimmies.
Yeah, but the thing is, the so-called murder simulators, they're tame. They're
And,
tame to, like, say stuff like Far Cry 3
and you want to know what's the sad thing?
and The Last of Us, for example.
You want to know what the sad thing is?
Hmm.
My cousins and my brother, they play Call of Duty.
Well,
Uh,
I mean,
It
here's the thing.
started out it started out as a decent series, but
After 4, then it just spiraled out of control.
agreed.
And 4, I recall playing that, and I thought it was actually pretty fun and good. Then I got to, like, what was it, playing the other games in the series. I'm like, wait, has anything moved?
Or at least, or at least has anything changed?
and the only good franchise in the first and third person shooter genre, the Tom Clancy games,
Speaking of which, may he
are
rest in peace.
done.
Speaking of which,
They are no more because, as Adam's about to tell us,
I'm glad he passed away. May he rest in peace.
Oh,
yes,
I didn't know that.
Splinter Cell, all of those other good games, dead.
But if I
They will get
recall,
they will get necroed, obviously,
Yeah,
I know a
because
bunch
they
of people
sell.
have been, like, when it comes to Splinter Cell, they've been rather they've not been exactly happy with the newer installments.
well, it's just so sad that those franchises are pretty much getting cut off more or less due to unforeseen and unfortunate circumstances.
Well, they could probably continue, but they couldn't put it under the Tom Clancy name.
No.
Though that's odd considering I got Tom Clancy's Hawks, which I only got because I was inspired by an LP that I seen of it. It was a good subtitled LP.
Uh huh.
What?
No,
It's
no,
one.
I believe you. I believe you.
In one of the levels, the guy played like music from like Macross Frontier and Gundam X. I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Uh.
It was so fitting.
Uh-huh.
And my brother's watching Digimon.
Uh,
And Apocalypse just appeared.
woot.
Well,
Uh,
are we done ranting, or are we going to keep ranting?
I
uh,
I think we're done ranting.
I got something to rant about. Vita needs more games, god damn it. As
Yep,
for you people, get a 3DS. You're missing out. Come on.
I agree. They are missing out. I mean, seriously, Pokemon X and Y are coming out in roughly a week.
I have X pre-ordered. I'm
I'm
So
getting
am I.
I'm getting mine on launch day.
So
yep,
am
same,
I.
same. I'm
No,
gonna get.
I know. I'm actually literally going to the store without pre-orders and buying it on launch day.
Good luck.
Good luck getting a copy.
Well, who said I had to
Well,
go to a GameStop to get it?
true, there will probably be tons of copies, I imagine.
Well, it is going to be an international release.
It is a AAA.
Not to mention the fact that the Pokemon Global Link is going to have Gen 6 compatibility from the ground up. That said, everyone with a current Gen 5 game is going to get screwed next year when they close down the Dream World for Black White.
Mm. Well, it's not like I even used. I can't. I couldn't even access the global link anyway.
Oh, I caught tons of Pokemon in Black 1.
Well, lucky you.
I had a freaking Staravia with Reckless.
Well,
That brave bird was that brave bird of his was a designated nuke.
the thing is, for me, I simply couldn't use it. I don't know why. Maybe my monitor wasn't big enough at the time. I don't know. Maybe my computer's just too old.
Well, I did get a new rig recently, so
So that could be it. Oh well. Oh, it's not like I used Global Link for anything anyway.
yeah. Well, Dream World Pokemon didn't have really good abilities.
Well,
Well, so,
the problem was the Global Link had some ridiculous trades that people kept just trolling and putting
no,
out.
no, no, no. You're thinking of GTS actually.
Oh yeah,
The
that
global
one.
trade server. No, let's not even go into that.
Yeah, fuck that thing.
I have better luck. Just go to
Literally, the only thing that's good the global trade server is good for is to
IDs.
go to certain sites that have their own hacked global trade server that you can link to, and you can basically use the site's own Pokesave to create your own Pokemon for you.
Uh, I don't know. I'd rather not do that.
Well, there are plenty of ways to make sure that your Pokemon are legal.
No, I'd rather have it by legal trades. Which is why I tend not to use GTS. Instead, I just trade with random people, and most often than not, I actually gotten some good trades.
Oh, speaking of getting some Pokemon, I now have all 3 Sinnoh legendaries, all shiny ones from GameStop now.
Well, I'm planning to get mine on the 12th of Giratina. And about that, actually, I wonder if they're actually going to release an update to Pokedex 3D to accommodate Gen 6.
Most likely.
They better. It better be a free update.
Free.
If
What are
not,
you talking about?
if not, then I'll settle for like a $5 update.
Yeah, given that they're going to be charging a subscription for the new Transfer server, they're probably going to be pretty well off for money because everyone's going to pay into that. I'm not, though. I would sooner use Pokesave or an action replay because I don't trust the outside world. And besides, I am very particular about a Pokemon having my trainer ID number and my name listed as the OT.
That doesn't really bother me that much, considering by the time I get those kind of Pokemon, I already have the badges I need.
Well, I don't know. My only problem this month is that there's too many goddamn games coming out.
I know.
First, let's see. Adrian Untold. Got it. Next week, Disgaea D2 comes out.
And then,
Then, Sunday, Pokemon X and Y. And
well,
then
that's
2
Saturday.
weeks
Saturday.
later,
Saturday, actually.
let me think.
And there's also.
Oh, okay, Saturday. God damn it, the somebody got the thing at work screwed up again. Okay, okay. I thought I had I thought I had oh poo. I thought I had my birthday off. Fuck.
Oh well. And then,
Oh,
and then on the 24th, Dual Destinies.
and then sometime, let's see, around December or a little later, Bravery Default comes out too,
Hmm.
which I'm looking forward to.
But maybe you should hold off until you actually finish those games. The problem is they're all RPGs that tend to last like 30 to 60 or maybe even 100 hours.
Speaking
At
of
least I,
RPGs, I just got my hands on the pre-purchase for Agarest War.
Hmm. I see.
uh, at
Steam.
least at
Uh-huh.
least I know I'll be able to finish Phoenix Wright and possibly Pokemon X.
Mm. And by the way, of course, since it is an international race, I obviously will have no info beforehand compared to previous generations. So
Yes, we're all going to be blind.
hmm I've already chosen my starter.
Yeah, I got far too many games at the moment that have been sitting untouched, waiting for me to play them.
And
Let me think here. Mario Galaxy 2. Let's see. Pandora's Tower, The Last Story. Xenoblade. Uh, Super Paper Mario, Mad World. Tales of Graces F. Tales of Exilia. Nino Kune. Hawks. Deadly Premonition. And what else is there? Oh, Resident Evil 6, which I gotta do with Eisen, if we can ever get around getting back to that, because
did that.
uh, Silverfang's got a job, so his availability is massively cut in what we can do.
Mm.
Yeah.
What else am I forgetting amongst my collection? Well, I do got Midway Arcade Origins, but that ain't a big deal. And then I got Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3, which,
And
well,
then you got Etrian Odyssey Untold.
yeah, and then I gotta go look at my 3DS section here. Let me see. Project X Zone, which I'm probably not going to finish.
Good.
And I might as well just send it to Adam, or
Yeah, why not? Because I need something else to play.
let's see, Adrian Odyssey 4, Soul Hackers, Tales of the Abyss 3D, which I should get back to. Uh 999, Radiant Historia. I'm kind of stuck at the moment on that one.
Mm.
Radiant Historia is a damn good game. God.
Well, you should be happy I got that for you.
Yeah, you were surprised. You're like, what the hell's this game? I never heard of it.
No, no, you're right. You telling me about the game, and then I found it.
Yeah, I'm like, get it. And you're like, oh, okay.
Right,
Speaking of which,
you have a much better memory than I do.
yes, somewhat. Speaking
Hmm.
of which, my birthday's in 10 days.
I
You
know, and
got anything?
well, well, let's see here. What can I find? Actually, now that you mentioned it, I do go. Since I will be in town on launch day, I wonder what I'll find. Then again, this site could be subject to change in a week.
Oh, yeah. Let me
Hmm.
see here.
Anyway, not to mention that bandwidth is getting slow. I think. Oh, well.
Mm.
Huh. Uh,
Oh, how about forthcoming events? What are we up to now?
Well, not sure. Forthcoming events?
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm kind of in a holding pattern. Terraria, I was planning on digging into Pokemon Emerald, but then Terraria finally updated, so the Arcadian Expedition is going to return to Terraria.
That's good to hear. As for me, like I said, I'm working towards getting that final request done in P3, and then I'll have to record the answer. And then, of course, if I choose to, I'll have to fight the ultimate boss of Persona 4. Other than that, everything else is on hold.
Yeah.
Or at least everything will be on hold when I actually get my hands on new games to play.
hmm.
I'll have to resist the urge, though.
Let's see.
Do-do-do.
Huh.
Oh, isn't it kind of sad? Star Tropics 2 is available at the store for $5, and yet it can be downloaded on on the Virtual Console.
I already have Star Tropics.
Oh, well, I know. Just looking at what was just recently added to this site.
I mean, hell, I have DuckTales on the Game Boy and the NES.
And did you regret doing that log play of DuckTales Game Boy?
Not really.
Except it kind of dragged.
In what way?
In the way that you didn't you say yourself that it took longer than expected.
Not really. Well, just mostly getting to doing it.
Hmm. Actually,
The only trouble I had was with a certain jump in the African mines.
mm,
There's actually a few jumps in that game that are just plain bullshit.
eh. Well, I'm not sure if there's anything in the 3DS section you'd be interested in.
Let's see. Ninja Gaiden 2, I know I would be.
Well, I'm looking in the
Kirby Stream Lane 2.
well, obviously, okay. Let me look under the Game Boy section.
Uh,
Oh wait, you could just download it out the 3DS.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hmm. Well, honestly, I'm not sure what to get you, man.
X6!
Fortunately, dude, you do realize there's no way I can get that unless I pay like a huge amount of money on Amazon for it. Which,
Actually, it wasn't that much when I last seen it.
well, it's just
I'll go look it up
okay.
and see
Okay,
if I can find it.
I just go by memory. And to add insult to injury, they have 8 Legends and X4 all available,
Let's see here.
and Lunar Silver Star Story Incomplete, which I already have a copy of.
Let's see. Actually, Mega Man X6. If it's used, you're likely to get for $10.
Hmm.
Along with,
Then again,
well, if you want to get new, it'll be around 40. Don't do that.
I wasn't planning on it.
Let's see. Wow, X5, $50 for a brand new copy.
Speaking of it, I am actually interested. What kind of crazy prices can we find on Amazon that are just ridiculous? I mean, seriously, I swear Amazon overcharges for a lot of things.
Mega Man X8 for $110.
That's overpriced.
Yeah, hell no.
Even though it's a
uh,
good game, it's overpriced.
let's see. 8 collectible copies of the game, actually.
I'm still surprised I managed to get Tales of Destiny 2 for the price I got it for.
Actually, this one guy, he actually has it for like $25. And he says it's basically like new. Let's see. Rare Black Label, disc only. This game has been cleaned, no original case or instructions. Even though I'd laugh if it was still there. Let's see. Black Label original version disc only for $10. So, okay, seriously, there's an asshole who has
Oh,
it for 70.
oh God! Revelations Persona for $500. Ugh, and only one left in stock, of course.
Who the fuck is gonna pay for that? Just get the PSP version, you lazy fuck.
Yeah, like I said before, it actually has the Snow Queen quest.
I mean, you could download it on your PSP. You could play on your Vita. You. Why the fuck would you do that?
And the thing is, then we have Eternal Punishment available for $240. I already have it on my PS3. Thank you.
I have it on my PS3 in my one of my Vita memory cards. That's kind of
Although I still would have liked the PSP remake. Oh well, it happens. That's I'm just surprised at how people can just purchase games from Amazon for like a huge amount of money.
I honestly,
It scares me.
it scares you to know that the human race is that desperate to get something for that much.
Yeah.
So how's that country depth doing?
Huh? I don't get. Whoa. Here's an example of ridiculous prices. Um, Diablo for $548.99. Digimon World for 400.
Yeah, no.
Sweet Coden 2 for 700.
Is there one on say Tales of Destiny 2?
I already bought that, dude.
And you haven't touched it. And then you say you're bored. Then
Well,
you got 4 or 5 other games I've bought you, and you haven't touched them
I,
either. What the fuck, man?
sorry,
Stop saying you're bored. You're
sorry,
boring me. You're
sorry.
bored. You're all bored.
Digimon World 2 for 200.
What about Digimon World 3? You gotta tell me how much that is.
Okay. Digimon World 3, 159.92.
What?
That's for like the asking price. New 150.50. Used 34.50.
What the?
What the crap?
What?
For those prices?
Who? What?
Okay. I'm just. Uh, I'm just going. Let's see. That's in stock only. This includes obviously Japanese import. They even put Japanese imports on here
Well, you can still get them to work.
somehow.
Well, mostly because
Oh,
I'm not sure if.
okay, found it. Tales of Destiny 2, new 350, used 95.
Hmm.
Well, at least the used price is bearable.
Yeah.
Uh,
I might as well just ask if. Well, let's see how much Tales of Eternia on the PSP is.
okay.
They actually did have one,
I
and it
know,
did come out in Europe.
I know they did.
I don't know why they did that though.
79.99. Why did they release it everywhere but here?
Namco.
Oy.
Maybe we should be slightly happy that Atlas didn't get bought out by them.
At
By
least
who?
by Namco.
Nah.
At least no, they got bought by somebody who was actually much more trustworthy.
Who?
Even though they've been questionable lately.
Who?
Sega.
Sega.
Good.
Uh,
We've
it, it,
seen we've
it's
seen that they're capable of improving.
yeah, that goes without question.
What?
Legends 2 for 489.99 asking price.
Well, there's a reason for that because
I
it's
know.
effectively the last relic of the franchise. Even
I know it is. I think I still have it. It's just my brother has it in his basement.
With Dr. Dre, right?
No, 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 no. No, alongside Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door,
I have the Thousand Year Door now.
as well as many other games that we had. I'm still shocked. Uh, I'm still shocked by these prices. It's just outright ridiculous. At least it's not as ridiculous as the prices I've seen for, say, certain NES games.
Hmm.
I think I think one of them was sold for, would be asking price for that is like $1,000 or something. I think it was for a Mario game.
Hmm.
That's how desperate people are nowadays, apparently.
Let's see.
I'm just I question people nowadays. I question them.
Well, the thing is, they know that there's going to be some desperate schmuck that's going to pay for it at one point. I
Of
know a friend of mine who's been he's been basically on an Amazon shopping trip, more or less.
which
He's
we're not that desperate.
he's been buying all kinds of cosplay as well as like stuff from anime itself. Like he even like what was it got Captain Hitsugai's Zanpakuto from Bleach along with his captain's outfit. I'm just like, what? You're going to dress as that during Halloween?
I I'm just
No,
why?
I'll dress up as Pyro Jack.
Oh, very funny. You got to wear a pumpkin for a head.
Well, I could always dress up as that one Digimon with a pumpkin axe in his skull.
Mm, let's see. What the, apparently somebody's asked for used of a copy of Flintstones 2 Surprise a Dinosaur Peak on the NES for guess how much?
How much?
$5 short of a grand.
$995. Really?
Yes.
What the crap?
Oh wait, that reminds me. I gotta see. I gotta see if it's actually on here. Uh, no, it's not. Oh wait. Yes, it is.
Oh,
Uh,
oh, 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 okay. I got one. How much is a really good box copy of Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers for the NES?
oh, actually, I was referring to that one game that has so many games, but yeah, half of them are unplayable.
Oh, that one.
It's for $400 new.
There's no hope for the human race, is there?
For used, for used, $100.
This is the ultimate statement towards there being no God. You do realize this.
Hey, hey.
It's not helping, okay?
No,
I'm sorry. I don't believe that being would make people or things this stupid. If
okay.
that's the case, he is a really, really bad floor manager or something.
All
He
right.
must have been a bad temp.
All right. Then, for a copy of Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, looks like for new $25, used $6.99, collectible $19.99.
Really?
Yeah,
Even with the box and
I,
instruction manual and
I
everything?
I would imagine so.
The
All right.
one time I expect them to come out with a stupid price so I can laugh at them.
Oh, really? Rescue Rangers 2 is for $134.99 used.
Well, they did say that one was harder to find.
Mm-hmm.
DuckTales. Woo woo.
All right. Challenge accepted. All right. Okay. DuckTales for the NES. Let's see. Two versions, of course. Uh, apparently, let's see. Used 1378, collectible 2569 for the NES copy.
That why is that so reasonable sounding?
Compared to Super Mario Brothers 3. Oh wait, never mind. So I guess it wasn't that high priced. I don't
Oh,
remember it being that priced. Okay. 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 I was probably thinking of another game that had that. Oh right. Uh, would you guys believe? I'm going to say this right now for all to hear. Super Mario All Stars in mint condition for $700.
blow me.
I, I can't. It, I can't believe it. And used $10.
Well, well, I thought it was going to make some money.
Ugh.
Oh god,
And,
that
oh my.
I'd just be happy if you got me a used copy of X6. I'd just be like, thanks.
Oh yeah, and of course Ducktales 2 NES for a used copy $99. 99.99 even. What the? Oh, Darkwing Duck for free 99.99.
Well, to be fair, that one is also a lot hard to find.
I know it is.
That then again, that might not be the case later on.
Well, maybe. Let's have to cross our fingers. But and of course, to add insult to injury, Battletoads for $289.95.
I turn away for 30 seconds and Kira shows up.
We were discussing ridiculous prices. You're kidding me, right?
Exactly as planned.
I'm serious. Yeah, in case you didn't hear it, GM, Battletoads on the NES for $289.95. That was much better laughter, much more subdued.
Uh, Little Nemo, the Dream Master.
All
Go.
right, all right. Challenge accepted. Little Nemo, the Dream Master on the NES,
Shinkai?
$3.99 used. Collectible $6.95.
Wait, $3.95, like
Uh, $3.99 for used. $6.95 for collectible.
What the fuck? Buh.
As opposed to Super Mario Brothers 2 US for $545.99.
I got one. Killer Instinct.
Oh, now that is gonna be rare, I bet. All right.
I've been hearing good things about the new one coming out on Xbox One.
But how's if we're gonna buy one?
I'm not because
Okay, that depends on which version of Killer Instinct you're referring to. Okay, we have Killer Instinct on the Game Boy for $200, and then we have Killer Instinct Gold on 64 for 600.
so how much is the SNES version?
New 78.85, used 756.
Gee, I only got my copy for $10.
Yeah, I just can't get over the gratuitous amount of new items in Terraria now.
I bet.
They've got an entirely new biome. They've got like a gajillion new weapons and armors and accessories.
Yeah. Well, speaking of ridiculous prices I mentioned earlier, Pokemon Channel with a bonus Pokemon Mini, 500. What the
I,
hell?
I gotta go. I should probably look up to see if Idriossi Untold has any
Ridiculous.
downloadable stuff.
Or I was about to say ridiculous sales.
I don't think. Well, maybe the DS games of 1 to 3, maybe, considering they're hard to find, probably.
And of course, the Pokemon Stadium Battle Set, 700.
Well, Corey, you done with all Digimon?
Mm.
But
Uh, and oh my, Pokemon Box Ruby and Sapphire for $883.93.
what about the Pokemon channel?
I said for 500.
Really? Somebody's gonna pay $500 for a game where you just watch a bunch of Pokemon doing stupid shit?
Yes. At least that's what the seller is hoping for. Oh. Well, apparently it's not as ridiculous. There's a game that's
I'm gonna go find a copy of the game, and then I'm gonna masturbate on it, and then it'll go up to $1,000.
actually there is there's something that you could afford. Batman.
Oh, oh,
Two new 119.19, used 349, collectible 795. Now that's actually much more understandable.
I don't know. Batman has a tendency of showing up at our pawn shop on occasion. So.
Oh my god.
What? Final
Really?
Fantasy
No,
2?
no, no. Castlevania 1 for 1500. Or Legend of Zelda 1 for 1600. Or Castlevania 2 for 900.
Uh, I got
Why
Zelda
are they
1 and
selling
2.
cartridges when the ROMs can be downloaded for free? Nintendo never cracks down on ROMs. They
No,
don't.
actually, dude, they're also available on the 3DS eShop too.
Mm.
At least Castlevania 1, as well as Legend of Zelda.
I got Zelda 1 and 2 on NES, and they're both gold.
And unfortunately, the Adventure of Link is far less expensive.
Well, of course, because
219,
that's the black
219.94.
sheep.
Because no one appreciated Zelda 2.
Nope, sadly no.
Though, okay, Adam. Castlevania 3.
I've already got you beat there. $500.
Well, I got my copy for about 15 or 20.
And just see, folks, this is an example of how people on the internet could screw you over in terms of buying things.
Also, the fact that people at pawn shops don't really give a fuck, and it's kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
Though the problem is, then you worry if the game actually works.
Actually, since you mentioned it, at least something related to
I
it.
got Tiny Toons.
Since you mentioned something related to Final Fantasy 1 for $400 on the NES.
That's no surprise.
Dragon Warrior for 200
What the fuck?
on the NES. On the NES, yeah.
I got mine for $3 or $4.
Blaster
What the fuck?
Blaster Master for $149.95.
I got that for like $5.
Rambo for $99.95.
Why would you buy that?
Even though it did copy its script straight from the movie. I know, right?
Let me see. Tiny Toon Adventures.
All right, I will accept that challenge.
It probably won't be much.
All
if
right.
it is, I'll laugh.
Let's see. Tiny Toons on the NES. You're right. It's roughly $3.
Yeah, that's how much I got mine for. So.
The hell?
That's my mother laughing.
Oh. Okay.
Wow,
I'm going
you
to go
and her
see
have
what
the
the
same
heck she's
laugh.
laughing about.
Super Castlevania 4, $329.95.
Wait, 325 or?
$329.95.
I got mine for like $4 or $5.
Street Fighter 2010, The Final Fight, for $274.99.
I could have got that for like $4.
Link to the Past, Super NES, $449.99.
Probably would have got that for 30.
Super Metroid, $349.99.
Oh, here was a price that killed me at what was it at the pawn when they had it. Chrono Trigger, just the cartridge, nothing else, for like $60-$70.
Well, let's see how much it costs over here. Well, not as much. Actually, on the DS, that is $27.20. The asking price.
I got Chrono Trigger for like $15 on the DS.
Super NES, $200 new.
Yeah, $200.
Well, I can understand a console being expensive.
I could understand if it was the box.
But the cartridge being that. Ah! Final Fantasy 3 Super NES for $1,500.
It is FF6, the last great FF.
Well, one of the last ones.
What?
What?
Okay,
Super Mario RPG for $459.99 as well.
I'd like to find Super Mario RPG. I've been dying to find that little
And
bastard.
of course, Illusion of Gaia for $490.
I don't really care for that one.
Mm-hmm.
I know that Earthbound's going to be in the 200 to fucking 1,000 range. So.
All right then. Challenge accepted. Let's see. Earthbound with the box and stuff. Used $164.99. Collectible $229.98.
Huh.
Yeah.
Told.
No, it wasn't. At least it wasn't as much as what one as what
Well,
one would expect.
that's also including the fact that it has everything in the box.
Actually, I think it is the case.
Because if it does, it has a strategy guide and everything.
I believe this is the one. I believe so. I'm just like, what the hell? Let's see. Explore.
Even though Earthbound is now available on Wii U.
Well, I guess it gives some people an excuse.
At least they could play a game without it having problems on an emulator.
Yeah.
I like harder enemies and the fact that the game will crash if I get to a certain point. Good job, Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
I see that you love us.
Oh yeah, and of course, Mother 3 imported. By the way, 268.63 new.
You know what? I'll just go to Japan, get it for like a few bucks, and then I'll just have somebody pop the translation in and be done with it. Yeah, could do.
Hmm.
Or no. Better yet, I'll just have somebody make a replacement cartridge and just be done with it.
I can't believe we degenerated from rents as well as what's been happening in the past few years to comparing prices on Amazon. Then again, that's what makes these kind of things random.
Yeah. I
What
suppose I just
the? What the?
I
No,
I,
no,
I
no,
got to put a what the counter here.
no! You gotta be kidding me. Are these people serious?
What is it?
For the for Donkey Kong Country on the Game Boy Advance. Uh, um, used $10, collectible $14.99, but new 10,000.
What game?
Donkey Kong Country on the Game Boy Advance.
I could have got that for $5.
That's just what? What?
The thing is, people are willing to pay.
Too much?
If you're willing to pay that much, I think you should turn in your ability to procreate.
Or no. They should just turn in their wallets at the door and just be like, be like Fry Futurama and be like, shut up and take my money.
No. In that case, then you start throwing them into the workforce and replacing the competent ones with them, and then you have the competent ones ruling over them, and then life will be a cool thing again.
In contrast to the Game Boy Advance version, the original Super NES, asking price $149.95.
I already have that game.
Diddy's
I also
Kong,
have the second game.
which is 180.
I didn't. I almost could have got the third game, but then I chose not to because I'm
Three
going
nine
to be honest.
$319.99.
For some reason, I just don't really care about Donkey Kong Country 3.
And all three in one bundle. Used $64.99, collectible 85. And Disney's oh yeah, since I see here, Disney's Aladdin 124.99.
Hmm.
That's
Like,
mhm. retro
wait,
bit duo retro dual twin whatever it is.
wait. It was how much?
124.99
$124.
for Aladdin. Yes.
I got it for $10.
Then there's Yoshi's Island for 700.
I got that for $5 to $6.
I know. Let's see what else. What else we have that's
Final
ridiculous?
Fantasy 2
I
SNES.
oh
Go.
all right. Wait, then it'll only be Japanese only.
Well, no.
Oh,
It'd
oh,
be Final
oh,
Fantasy.
oh, right. Final Fantasy 4. Final Fantasy 4.
I said,
Uh,
yeah.
new 450. Used 25. Collectible 30.99.
I got my copy for like $2 or $3, and it still works.
Actually, I'd like to, with Mighty Number 9 funded and ready to go, Inafune asked all of the Mighty backers to pitch at some point another project that was being put through by Way Forward, which is their flagship franchise, Shantae. There's another game in development on Kickstarter at the moment.
Yeah. I think I did see something about that.
Yeah.
Let me give you a link.
Uh huh. Okay.
And
Okay. And now we have. Here's another thing. Secret of Evermore. 134.99.
huh.
I could got that for like $10, but the thing is, I missed out on it.
At Breath of Fire 1 for 650.
Breath of Fire 2, then.
Uh, are you sure? You might. I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. Die of a heart attack.
Okay, go.
I'm not sure. I'll look. Breath of Fire 2. Yeah, 575.95.
Oh, goody. I got mine for way cheaper.
And the kicker is there was a PSP version, but never got released here.
Mm,
Well, actually, that was for Breath of Fire 3, but
Actually, it's for Breath of Fire 2.
Oh, really?
And wait, no, you're right. It was Breath of Fire 3. I didn't see the extra Roman numeral. But Breath of Fire 3 for that much? 16.99 by the way on the PSP. 250 on the PS1.
Uh,
And Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter 445.
no!
Yes.
No!
I'm afraid so.
No! No! No!
What?
That game
What?
sucks!
What game sucks and had a high price?
No, it wasn't high priced. Breath of
Oh,
Fire Dragon Quarter. Where the protagonists were inverted more or less.
that game sucked, though.
I know it did. I didn't even play it, and I know it sucks.
I think the only place that gave it a good rating was GamePro.
Mm-hmm.
Again, back then they were extremely lenient on RPGs.
Mm.
Fuck.
I'm looking. Yeah, Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter 445.
Ah.
Uh, Dragon Guard 1950.
I got mine for like $5.
Oh my! Of course, the one you want, the one game you really hated.
What?
Here's a hint. It was on the PS2.
Ah, Donna Mana?
1864.
Why?
Loud.
Oh, hang on, hang on, hang on.
I,
What? I'm like, why? What was that?
my thoughts on the matter.
Oh God, why?
I finally got a ringtone of it.
Wait, never mind. Just read your mind. Look, I gotta look up. I had to look this one up. I have to.
What?
Uh, what?
Anyway.
Okay. Here we go. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, $100 for Star Ocean: The Second Story. Then again, that is very rare.
Okay.
But I was looking forward to hoping getting that one of these days. And contrast, we have the original Star Ocean Japanese import, of course, for 500.
That makes sense.
Why do that when I got First Departure for a lot cheaper than that?
You could get First Departure for like $10, $12.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
and
There's no hope. There is no hope.
and apparently, according to Amazon, there is a release date for 10.10.2 remastered for some reason. They say December 31st.
Odds are they're doing that mostly because they probably think that Square's going to do their usual December trolling that they did when 10 first came out.
Hmm.
Because basically around that time they said
It-
it was going to be January, and then they go, no, it's coming out December.
well, it would make sense. It is 10 we're talking about.
Yeah. Which also led to a bunch of magazines producing reviews in January, and then the game ending up, I think, with Game Pro. The game didn't end up on what was it, the RPGs of the year. It ended up on Game of the Year because it's put in so much.
Uh,
Because it didn't technically count as one at the time that they made the Game of the Year awards,
I see.
which didn't really help. Though then again, if I recall that year, Grand Theft Auto 3 won, and then it was Final Fantasy X. Then I think it might have been Wind Waker, but I'm not. No, that was the year after when Vice City came out. Yeah.
Huh. I see.
Uh,
I I feel compelled to look at even more of these ridiculous prices. See if there's a.
don't do it.
I'm not. I'm
Don't
just
go.
too late. No, the line is no. Don't go.
I'll just get out my copy of Spice and Wolf and start reading.
I and with that, maybe I think the audience has had enough of us losing our shit.
Ah.
Though I guess it just this was quite unexpected. Though the discoveries we've made, that is.
Let's see.
Oh yeah. Besides tonight, we do got to get back to what we were discussing earlier.
Yes.
No,
Well, we don't. Most of us don't have anything planned. So,
yeah, well. Sorry, it's just that we're kind of preoccupied.
No, well, yeah, that's true. I really don't have anything planned as it were anyway.
Mm.
Ah, the only thing on mind that I kind of want to do, but not really.
Ah.
I don't know. I would like to, someday maybe start a Katawa Shoujo LP.
Oh, but good luck with that. Actually,
that would be tricky.
it would be.
Mostly considering I have to do some censorship.
Yeah.
Well, you're actually the best you're the best video editor of the group, so that shouldn't be
It's
an
not
issue.
that's not the issue though. The thing is, he's not that good. He's good. He's good, but not that good.
I can learn.
True.
All you
No,
have to do is hit the option to turn off the sex scenes, and then whenever there's nudity or any other lewdness shows up, you blur it.
Hmm.
even though when you actually well, actually, I was going to mostly just put sensor bars and stuff like that, or no, in my luck, I just put like a bunch of pictures of Brent Spiner. Censor Brent Spiner away.
What?
Never mind.
It.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's supposed to be a joke on oh, what is it? Censor Kaiser from Bennett the Sage's anime reviews, Anime Abandon, where he puts Kaiser's face on anything that resembles like any nudity of any sorts.
Uh-huh.
It just looks funny as hell, especially when like he actually has Kaiser actually speaking Japanese, going, "I will censor all gratuitous nudity and gruesome violence for great justice."
Uh-huh.
And he actually says in Japanese
Right.
and flies off in rainbow.
Well, if you can pull it off, then good.
But if not, then I could just always rely on on the the turn off the
Yeah, I know. Turn off adult content. I know.
yeah.
Exactly.
Then I'll just describe the scene in just like a few words.
Mm-hmm. But
In this scene,
I know.
Misao
Yeah,
is
yeah,
speaking.
yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, okay. We get it.
Now we move on.
Well, that actually would be a radically different LP. I mean, that would be like when I did the analog duology, basically.
It's kind of like that, actually. I think
Something
it's
completely
a,
different.
yeah, yeah.
Even though, like, for some scenes, I'd actually purposely be quiet and let the scene take care of itself.
Hmm.
Except, I mean, if you dragged me along like you were asking me to,
Yeah.
It'd be hard for you to keep quiet.
well,
I
because
think.
I am always willing to offer a running commentary on the current situation. I do that with TV shows, much to my mother's constant frustration. And I
I,
do it for games, I do it for movies. About the only time I'm ever quiet when a movie's running is in the theater.
Well, then again, that's out of courtesy. Hmm.
uh, and I can't watch TV with my dad at all
Hmm.
because he always ends up watching the crap on the Sci-Fi Channel. But it's either that or deal with my grandma. So he He'd rather deal with watching the sci-fi shows. That's how bad it is.
Well, well, dude, I will say this much: if you wanted to get Grandia 2 on the Dreamcast, or at least, actually, wait, no, not that, but actually on the PC, actually, it's $75.
I don't want to get on PC, dude. That thing is bugged as shit.
Okay, okay.
I mean, it's worse bugged than the PS2 version. I mean, the only difference is with the PC version, I can actually play the hard mode version. Actually, what's the word? Have a challenge.
Hmm.
Because Grandia 2 offers me no such challenge.
Then again, it's because you broke it.
Yeah, and then I'm going to do the same thing that Grandia 3, but just have spite.
Hmm.
I will break it like a Kit Kat bar.
Ah! You wish they pierced his eardrums.
I'm not even anywhere near the webcam microphone.
Well, we can hear you that loud.
He and I have virgin ears. His are much
I,
more sensitive.
uh,
I kid, I kid, I kid. I,
okay.
I
All right.
sense I may have gone too far.
There have been times you have done that. But again,
Yes,
I'm also guilty of that too.
yes.
But that's beside the point.
And the fact that somebody's just going to be like, why are you quoting George Carlin? Because he's my favorite comedian, and it's fitting.
May May he rest in peace.
Yep, since '08.
Yep.
But let's see. Wow. I suppose I could talk about some anime I've been watching.
Then again,
I'm not going to talk about Attack on Titan, even though it's
not,
a good show.
it's not that. I'm just saying we do got other stuff to do too.
Well, yeah, true, but it's a nice, it's a thing.
It's a thing for the thing. It's
I'll show you a massive thing. Oh
uh
God, that's what I get for watching Ava Bridged,
huh.
Evangelion Abridged. They actually somebody actually did a bridge series of the rebuild movies, and it is glorious.
Uh huh. I'm
But
um.
yeah, I'm watching this new one called The Future Diary.
Mhm.
It's pretty
Oh,
much
Mirai Nikki.
yes,
Isn't Yuno just delightfully insane?
yes.
Don't mind me, folks. I'm just out of the loop as usual.
Oh wait, so you're just like
No,
Ken?
no.
Huh?
Except I'm not that insane. Except I'm not legally blind, and I'm not that obsessed.
You could
But what
say
about the
Adam. You
anti-feminist media conspiracy?
wait. I got one. I got one.
I'm not hearing
I got
this.
I got
No, by hearing this, I'm taking off the headphones.
I got one, Jeremy. I got one.
What?
You could say that you locked Adam out of your loop, your Mobius loop.
Oh! Oh, ice burn!
Not really.
Yes!
Not really. It's not that funny.
I thought it was clever.
No, it wasn't.
Well, when you think about what Mobius loop is, a Mobius loop is when you take a bunch of strands of paper, you put them like this, and then you put them in this loop that you twist around, and then it goes on for until infinity, and then creates an equation. Wait, I'm going on too long about
Yeah.
this.
Speaking of which, I think this recording may have gone on too long.
Yeah, we got nothing left to talk about. So, on my agenda at least, Terraria, somewhere in the future. Reciteer, somewhere in the future. Solar 2, also out there in the near future. Up soon, Pokemon Emerald as well.
Hmm.
And I'm only going to bring one dude for that, as I mentioned before.
Uh huh.
And after that, if I ever manage to get it done, I will attempt to do Pokemon Platinum, assuming that DS Mume cooperates with Blueberry.
Which more often it might
Well,
not.
Desmone does have its built-in record feature, so you might want to try
Yes,
that.
but Blueberry is extremely efficient at file compression. That's
Oh,
why I use it.
Even
Uh,
if even at the cost of a severe audio imbalance.
well,
oh,
there are ways I can artificially alter that.
Mm,
well, I kind of have that same deal with Camtasia Studio 7. I mostly use it for some recordings, but I mostly use it for cropping and its compression. But the problem is it kind of leaves the footage a little choppy.
mm.
Though
Well,
then again, that's what happens.
anyway, well,
Um,
after this, folks, we're gonna be getting back to pretty much going back to Inaba, as it were.
Back to Enabud next week, same time, same station,
Wait, you're doing
same.
P4 again?
Well, yeah, did I tell you?
Well, we've been doing it for the last month or two.
Yeah, except I was doing it with a much different schedule than I did before.
Uh,
Actually, a much more efficient one, actually. I
mm,
managed to get all the social links done before December. Well, actually, all the community links, that is. You know, and of course, like I said, much more efficiently. And of course, you'll hear us bickering quite a bit, but to your delight, I guess. And I think that's our cue to quit.
Because GM's mom says yes.
I guess so.
Wait, is she the new ruler of Neo Arcadia?
No,
Then who
huh?
is?
What is he even on about?
I don't know. I was just trying to.
I don't
I was
know.
just trying to say goodbye.
Who is the milkman?
Well, play Psychonauts, you'll find out, or not. Anyway, um, all I'd love to say is bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
And God fucking speed.
Quite.